Computer. All right, thank you very much for joining us for this video. The purpose of today's video is to run through the range of products available from Cerule so that people have the full understanding, we hope, by the end of this video about what it is that we are so excited about in terms of the product range. Certainly this is a video that will be able to be used as a training resource for my people in my Cerule organization, but also they could use this video to show to their potential customers if they feel that might be useful. And absolutely all you need to do is give them your URL for your IBO business, of course, so that they can go and purchase the product from you and you get the credit for it and the lovely, lovely commissions that come along with that. So for anyone that doesn't know, I'm Bart K. If you're watching this video, you are affiliated to my Cerule organization somewhere around the world. I'm on quite a few continents now, which is exciting. I used to have a career in academia for a couple of decades in another life, thought better of that, and now pretty much Cerule is my full-time source of income to speak of. And that's awesome. With me today is the lovely Linda Hoggard, who is my direct introducer to the Cerule business many, many moons ago when we were both young, lithe, and full of energy. And nothing's changed, has it, Linda?
No, not on that front.
Excellent. Good. So Linda is, among other things, a kinesiologist and a naturopath and a fixer of all things for all people, pretty much, it seems. She's quite a miracle worker. And also she was instrumental in getting the Cerule business started down on this side of the planet, down under, way back when, really. And as such, she has one of the largest organizations around the world and a wealth of knowledge about that as well. So it's really, really a privilege to have you, Linda, and thank you for your valuable time.
Well, good. You're welcome.
Awesome. So what we decided to do, Linda and I, was that I would run through the three main flagship products of the Cerule range, the ones that I'm always on about, that I believe pretty much everybody should be on. And I'll get some feedback from Linda along the way and her knowledge and experience as well, as and when. And then I'm going to throw over to Linda, who's going to talk about a bunch of other products that I've really not talked about very much on my YouTube channel previously, so that we can all learn about those products as well. So with that in mind, I will crack on without wasting too much more time. So basically, the three main products are in order of importance. Priority number one is Stem Enhance Ultra. That is our stem cell release agent, which I'll explain a bit more about in a minute. We have a powerful anti-inflammatory called Sactive, which comes in various formulations. And also the Sactive product does show up as part of some of the other products that Linda will be talking about in the second half of the video. And of course, the third most important one is Plasma Flow. So let's start with the flagship, the absolute flagship, Stem Enhance. What is this? This is a product derived from a blue-green cyanobacter that lives in this one lake in Oregon. What is done is it's extracted from that lake in a sustainable fashion. It's filtered and cleaned up to get any nasties that might be in cyanobacter out, because, yeah, we all know about the heavy metals and stuff that people that go on about these things are on about. Well, this product is filtered, it's cleaned up, awesome. And it's activated with a proprietary process as well, in such a way as that when you take 2 capsules of Stem Enhance Ultra, there's something like a 25% plus or minus increase in circulating adult stem cells at peak. I think it's 2 hours after taking them or something like that. Is that right, Linda? Something like that?
45 minutes.
45, there you go. I've been well behind. It's not 2 hours, it's 45 minutes. That's how quick it works. Good, thanks for that. So 25% nominally. I've seen numbers thrown around in previous versions of interpretations of the same paper where they were talking about 4.5 million extra stem cells, plus or minus, if you want an actual number. This is all peer-reviewed evidence on the active ingredient in this product that supports these claims. So what does this product do? It causes your bone marrow to release your adult stem cells that contain your DNA instructions but are a blank cell which needs to decide what it's going to do with its life. So what it does is it bops about in your bloodstream until it encounters a tissue somewhere along the way that's singing out for help in some way, renewal or repair, binds to that cell that's not so viable, replaces it with a brand new one, and gets rid of all the detritus and whatever else so that can be washed away in the blood, and basically does a repair and cleanup job. So that's awesome. The power of that is, well, I've not seen anything like it. And there are quite a few stories that we hear from people about what they've experienced after taking this main product for a while, depending on how much they're taking, of course, dose-wise and all of that. I've got a great story myself. Everybody's probably heard my story. I thought I'd ask Linda what is, other than my story, what's her favourite story about someone taking this product?
Oh, just one, or there's so many.
As many as.
Yeah. I sort of been that kind of like, wow, there's so much kind of good stuff. I think what really, excites me, that particularly works in with the carnivore group as well, is atrial fibrillation. I was listening to Brian Nowicki's testimonial just with atrial fibrillation and carnivore, because there's heaps of AF out there, and due to other things that have gone on, there's even more of it now. And previous to kind of understanding what oxalates can do and how they can accumulate in the sinoatrial nodes and disrupt electrical charge, the only thing I've ever seen where, potentially the AF has kind of disappeared is having people on Stem Enhance Ultra. I'd always say that when you're tackling something like that, you want to be on at least 6 Stem Enhance a day, and that's because when something like that's going on, you want all your stem cells to go to that area, but of course your brain and every area of your body is potentially calling on the stem cells. So to get 6 Stem Enhance in to optimize the results, and it's one of those conditions where you really want to optimize the microcirculation as well, so to bring in at least 2 plasma flow. And so I've had a number of people kind of clinically, even from the point of view of someone just needing a pacemaker, that if I've been able to get them on at least 6 Stem Enhance for 3 to 4 months, they go back into hospital and they can't detect anything. So I love that shit. It's cool. I always said I went and studied what I studied, one, because I needed to work out how to become well myself, but pretty keen on getting things to work. And for anyone out there who's listening, who's tried everything, or they're a practitioner kind of going, I need stuff that's just going to work on another level, this stuff works on another level. Everything else that you're using is working on your existing cells. This is about getting new cell lines out into your body.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Thank you for that, Linda. Yes, so what we're saying is that this particular brand of adult stem cells that this product releases from your bone marrow, these cells are able to differentiate into brand new cells of pretty much any kind in your body to speak of. And as such, anything that's wrong can potentially be repaired by adult stem cells, and we know that this is a process that does go on. What we're not allowed to do is claim that our product is the cause of anything except the release of adult stem cells, and that makes sense. And so that's where we basically train our sales pitch, if you like, or our talking about the product to others in that way. So you'll hear us saying, I took this many and it was associated with that in terms of outcomes and things. We had a story from Mrs. Smith down the road who took it for 6 months and this happened for her. What we're not saying is this product caused it, just because we're not allowed to. But, do the math for yourself, I guess, is what we're saying on that. So that is Stem Enhance. Now, also, Linda, you've been associated with this product and its predecessors longer than I have. How many serious problems have people encountered in that time? How many people have had,
like sort of adverse issues?
Yeah.
Well, really, none that I can think of. The things that people see is that their body, there's a compound in the algae that can upregulate phase 1 detox. So sometimes our our phases are a little bit out of sync, and you might experience increase in bowel motion, some sort of headaches, skin rashes, that sort of thing, as the body sort of chugs along and tries to deal with the backload. That the main thing is just around how concentrated it is, the richness of it. So starting low and building up and getting your body used to those extra resources.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I've had the same experience with my folks, that really no one has had a serious problem. Just exactly what Lynn's just said. So spot on in that regard. Good. Product number 2, this is the main formulation of Sactive, which is similarly provided in capsules, as is the Stem Enhance. It is a blue-green pigment derived from a different species of cyanobacter, spirulina, as it turns out. Again, filtered, cleaned up, activated in the right way, provided in its best form for you. And what that product does is it downregulates the LOX and the COX inflammatory pathways, thus settling down a chronic systemic inflammatory problem, allowing the body to get on with the healing process and get past this never-ending acute inflammation that has now become chronic. So that's my best, shortest explanation of Sactive. What are you saying to folks other than that?
I pretty much say that for people who have an understanding of COX and LOX, it's good that they know that that's the mechanism of action. For other people, I just talk about that it has a mechanism of being an anti-inflammatory without the side effects, because it doesn't affect COX-1, only COX-2. And it's it's as simple as that, really. It's for that systemic inflammation. I have some favourite things that I like to use it with. Anyone experiencing kind of vascular changes in their brain that would lead to headaches from either the blood vessels kind of contracting and expanding. Just if you feel like something that's like that is going to come on, get a small glass of water, break open 2 capsules, mix it up, drink it, get it in the system really quickly. And that's kind of really effective. I've got people that use that instead of their medications, and then as they've got on the product range and their body's functioning better, ultimately those reactive mechanisms go away. But great for kind of working with them symptomatically in the beginning. And certainly my partner, Don, who in some ways is a very recovered, broken horseman thanks to the products, but we do live on a farm, so sometimes there's extra things going on, and he's just like, this Sactive is amazing, some niggles, takes it, and things disappear.
Awesome. Very, very good. So obviously that synergizes really well with the extra stem cell resources, helps to allow a healing process and for all that to occur. And then the third product is Plasma Flow, and that is a preparation which is designed to dissolve fibrin deposits in your microvasculature. Well, what are those? Why would I have them? Well, there's a protein in your blood plasma called fibrinogen, which is liquid normally, and therefore doesn't really affect the viscosity or flow of your blood in any way or whatever. It's just there. When you become inflamed, fibrinogen drops out of the blood plasma and forms fibrin, which is like a spider webby, cotton woolly plug in your smallest of your vasculature, your capillaries, or Americans would say capillaries, wouldn't they?
They would.
And as such, it's an immune mechanism to lock down an area that's inflamed for some reason. Let's make sure there's not a pathogen there. If there's not, the inflammation will resolve and we can move that deposit away and things will be back to normal. That's good. Only we now lead lifestyles that lead us, most of us anyway, to be chronically inflamed all the time, meaning that our microvasculature is always gummed up with this junk, really. And so that's the role of plasma flow. It dissolves it. back into the plasma so it can be swept away by the blood. And that's really important because it allows things like stem cells to get to where they need to be. So you've invested in releasing them. Why not support them getting there as well? Why not? So that's the three main flagship products. For me, when I'm talking to people about Cerule, they are my three absolutes. I think a person should absolutely be on all three of those products. Luckily, the company, in its infinite wisdom, has decided to allow people to get what they call wellness packs, which are groups of 3, 4, or 6 products per month, automatic order that recurs. It's called auto ship. And you get something like 10% discount in the end because you get a product discount plus you no longer pay for shipping that way. And that's the cheapest way of buying it if you want to pay for your products. Right at the end of the video, we'll talk about maybe if you don't, but that you'll have to stay to the end for that. All right, that's my bit done, and I'm pleased because that's the core of everything in terms of the way I see it. I'd like to throw over to Linda Hoggard, who, as I say, I do appreciate very much you being here. She's going to run you through the additional supplemental products that we have. And also skincare as well, aren't you, today? That's going to be exciting.
Skincare next to me. I've got a glass of the Collagen Active. I think my second favourite product, my first favourite product is Stem Enhance, then Collagen Active, then probably Plasma Flow. Just on that Plasma Flow, don't underestimate the value of opening up your microcirculation. You get a lot of improvements in how your body is functioning just from having improved circulation, which makes sense because that's the oxygen getting to the cells, the carbon dioxide getting removed, nutrients, etc. And, of course, optimizing that juncture where the stem cells migrate into the body. But we have a lot of people that will kind of jump on board. There's a lot of people really trying to target their joints and arthritis and that sort of thing. So we'll recommend the Stem Enhance and Sactive joint or the Collagen Active. And then it's really interesting, the results they see over those months, and then they add in the Plasma Flow. Because I always say, have your own experience of it. And people are like, oh my God, I can feel it in my brain, my memory's better, and my energy's better, I look better. And that's because they're just optimizing, the life force of the body so much more. Cool. So Collagen Active, this comes as a sachet. You can essentially just take one sachet a day if you fall in love with it like I do. My brain absolutely loves it. I can feel I've had a really busy morning, and then I've already had one of these, and I can just feel it in my brain now, just brighter and clearer. So the product's made from marine collagen, which is 1.5 times more absorbable, say, than a beef collagen. And these collagens are in peptide form, so they've been cleaved, and it's collagen peptides 1 and 3 for people who have more of an understanding of collagens. And these two collagen peptides make up 95% of the collagen that our body utilises in order to form the structure of our body. So most of our body's kind of water, and then in our connective tissue, most of our connective tissue that stops all the bones just falling to the ground is collagen. And so as we get older, it's harder for the digestive system to break down collagen and to utilise it. And then when our system is putting collagen into the structure, there's cofactors that are needed. And the awesome thing about Cerule is that every single cofactor is in the product, which I have not seen anywhere else. A lot of people get me to look at their collagen products, and there might be 1 or 2 cofactors, but not all of them. And then the people that have put the formula together have also utilised a number of whole food extracts. And when you look into those whole food extracts, there's things like pine bark extract that's made here in New Zealand that has a lot of research around the antioxidant effect of connective tissue, a lot of research as well around head injuries and brain function. So it comes together as a really absorbable, synergistic formula that for a lot of people, they are noticing easily within a week, changes in their skin, hair and nails, and also, that just nice feeling of the digestive system softening up. Lots of reports back of improved mental clarity, Collagen is very good at helping the brain compensate for cortisol. And I sort of suspect in the synergism of the anti-inflammatory effect, it just really creates an environment where our brain can just connect and function better. I love this stuff. Really well priced.
Yeah.
I
think. Sorry, Linda, to jump in there. It seemed that it was a good time to talk about the incredible result that my dear mum got with the Collagen Active when she added that to her regime of the 3 flagship products. We said, right, let's get you on the collagen as well. She had very, very severe cervical spinal issues, degeneration, fusing, spondylitis issues. She was doing this, yes, dear, to talk, couldn't walk 30 paces, was hunched over and looking every bit of her, 70-something years. And she was on the collagen not a month. And she was stood bolt upright with her shoulders back, flicking her neck around like a young girl and skipping up and down the beach with us and 2 dogs.
Oh, hey.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Changed her life.
Yep. And I saw that
de-aged her, didn't it, by 30 years?
And just optimize that function. Yeah, it's deeply anti-inflammatory because, of course, it's got the Sactive in it as well. It reminds me of a chap that we got onto the products who he'd had quite a career in the Air Force and had to extract himself out of fighter jets. And, man, he'd munched his lower spine. And he'd found out about the products and it was taking like a couple of days. And he came to a talk of mine a few months later because he had that thing. He says, I said, I feel like I'm holding on to something that's going to work. But he said, do you think it's going to start soon, Linda? And looking once again at his age, what had happened. And it's like, man, you're going to need 6 a day. So he did 6 a day and had tremendous turnaround with his low back pain. But he still had residual hip issues and was walking on a walking stick. And he found that when he had a sachet of collagen, he wouldn't need his walking stick for the next 4 or 5 hours. So once he'd interrogated me about how much he could take, he's had just that huge turnaround of adding on top of the results he'd already had after a couple of years of STEM Enhance, bringing in the Collagen Active. So, I do urge people to give it a go. It's awesome. The newest product in our range that has come out is a hydration formula. It looks like this, but it's a little bit green. It's got the Sactive. Yep, that's the bag there, and a representation of the beautiful greenness that comes out when they've added lemon to the blue. Man, we're having some great results. We've had a hot summer here in New Zealand and getting fantastic feedback from people in general, but particularly farmers and tradies and people that are kind of just not coping with the heat, because sometimes that's unusual in New Zealand. So they do. People get dehydrated at any time of the year. I mean, in fact, a lot of what people go through in the winter is just dehydration because they're cold, they don't feel like drinking, they feel like they drink something because they haven't got enough electrolyte minerals to hold the water in their body. It feels like, you're just peeing the water out all the time. So like all good electrolyte formulas, there's the basis of sodium, potassium, which is our electrolytes. But Cerule has used magnesium as well, which is really, I think it's naturopathically, it's essential in electrolyte formula because you've got the sodium, potassium, electrical potential on the cells, and you've got pumps that are regulating this. And those pumps use 1/3 of our body's energy, ATP. And so when we're looking at ATP production, making sure that the body has enough magnesium B vitamins to really start working through that Krebs cycle to create the energy. And so the electrolyte formula's got a B vitamin complex in it as well. So it's helping people very easily stay hydrated, but also really improving their energy and getting a lot of great reports back of just going, I feel like I'm coping better under stress, etc. And I'm like, well, that's magnesium and B vitamins. There's a main reason that I think most from a naturopathic point of view, we're always pumping magnesium, B vitamins into people because we know they're going to have better energy, they're going to have better sleep, and they're going to deal with stress. And that starts, dealing with a huge amount of things. You combine these sorts of concepts with a carnivore diet, and it's pretty exciting. What I love about the carnivore community is that we know that people have just tidied up the insane amount of crap in their diet. Which is just cool. So that's Hydractive and Collagen Active. And also, Cerule has an outstanding skincare of 4 products. So I'm going to start basically with how I personally use them to begin with. So I've got that thingy on, but can you see that, Bart?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I can also use it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got the cleansing micellar gel. So all these products are natural. They're all made in the north of France by a lady who spent her whole career making products, particularly in the French market. And she had a product range that she had always wanted to produce. She wanted to do a product range based on isotonic seawater science. And nobody had ever really taken her up on that. But one of the original managers in Cerule knew her personally and knew that inside her mind she had the skincare range that she wanted to develop. So with Cerule, they have brought that to market. So what the products all have in common is they, rather than just using water, because if you look at moisturizers, skincare products, there's always just water. So with the isotonic seawater, the seawater has been changed, so it's a perfect isotonic serum, I guess, to create the proper osmotic regulation of fluid. And this is science that comes from the early part of last century. And they actually, before they were able to do blood transfusion, they used isotonic seawater in the First World War to prop up blood volume because it's the perfect match for plasma. And so she would talk about if she had skin cells in isotonic seawater in her lab, they just stay alive because it's that perfect regulation of fluid. So she's always gone like, why don't we use isotonic seawater in skin products? Because when you apply it to the skin, it osmotically absorbs. So the products are all extremely hydrating, and they're all built on this base. So even the cleansing gel, I just find the cleansing gel amazing. I've always used natural makeup and natural gels, and a lot of the natural cleansing gels are just terrible at removing mascara. And I just say to people, because they go, does it work? And I go, like, this stuff's amazing. If you are wearing mascara, it just eats it off. And the really neat thing is that she actually recommends that, particularly if you're wearing makeup and you take it off, just to rewash your skin again, you can actually leave that residual gel on your skin to add to the hydration of it. And so you're not left with this strong kind of alcoholic, I've just dried the shit out of my skin to get it, clean. That's cool. So the next thing, which is my favourite product in the skincare range, is the Instant Tensor Serum. Of course, it's a liquid of the isotonic seawater that has had other seaweed extracts added to it. There's a heap of ingredients in all these products, but essentially as an instant tensor serum, it does have a tightening effect on your skin, and you can see changes. We've got before and after photos, different sides of the face of those fine lines kind of like softening out and tightening and less slackening of the skin with a really deep moisturising effect. I know, I just kind of love the feel of it, and it feels like it goes right into my skin. And then in the morning, the product to use is the CC cream that you would apply over the instant tensor serum. So CC stands for complete correction. These types of products have pigments in them that work with your natural skin tones to even them out. Once again, it's just full of really good moisturising seaweed extracts. And I have a personal friend who ex-Miss New Zealand supermodel. So this chick, she's used a lot of stuff, and she's just like, it is the most insanely good base for makeup that she's ever experienced. So I take her word for it. I don't have that level of experience, but I can feel what she means. And it does, if you're in a hurry in the morning, you have a cleanse, you want to put on your instant tensor serum and then use the colour complexion cream. Because it absorbs so well, it's just sits there ready for the application of makeup over it really well. And a lot of people will just use that just to give their skin a lift, some colour correction for the day. And that includes men and women. It's a great topical moisturiser for all skin types. And I guess from a scientific point of view, the pièce de résistance is the AFA regenerating cream. So this cream has the AFA algae that is the basis of Stem Enhance in it, and it has its own in-house trials that show that it has a definite effect on accelerating the repair processes through skin cell regeneration. So it's shown to increase the production of collagen-producing cells. Last couple of months ago, my Don had a hernia operation just on his tummy, and they put on that waterproof bandage that actually stays on for 3 weeks. So we pulled it off, and as expected, things were healing quite well, but there was a bit of redness to it, particularly with the removal of the bandage. And I just went, oh, cool, have a shower and put the AFA cream on. I wish I'd taken a photo, because just the calming and the whole settling down of the scar, like in an hour, was nuts. And he just kept going, this stuff is insane. So you can use it to help with scarring, etc., throughout the body. But of course, it's mainly used as a topical application on this area that we're all trying to keep as regenerated as possible. And
works brilliantly. I'm 100 years old, Linda.
That's caught up on you.
Yeah. No, I'm really not. Yeah. Okay. All right. So in a nutshell, that is our collection. Those are our wares in terms of products available for your purchasing pleasure from whoever it is that's got you to watch this video. So what you need to do now is get back with whoever it was that suggested to you that you watch this video and get their URL off them if they haven't already given it to you. If nobody has, then it's me, in which case my URL is down there. You can use that one. But pretty much that's what it is. I alluded earlier to stick around till the end. Here it is. Some of you don't want to pay for your products. I can definitely relate to that. I don't want to pay for things either. I would rather have things without charge. Luckily, Cerule's accommodated you. There's a deal going. It's permanent, though. It's not just for now. This is a permanent situation. If you want your product for free, then you take advantage of a thing called the 3 and free rules, which are available to IBO members. So instead of signing up as a retail customer, sign up as an IBO. What you now do is find 3 retail customers of your own, and if you're on a 3-product wellness pack, if you sell each of those 3 people a 3-product wellness pack, the company will then send you yours for free ongoingly, and as long as you maintain that. Up to 12 products maximum that the company will allow you to have on a monthly basis for free. I would suggest that if that's of interest to you, that's what you should do. In which case, you should get back with the person who suggested you should watch this video and get their URL from them to join up if they haven't given it to you already. Or if it's nobody, then it's me. If you're stuck with me, then. Linda, thank you very much for your valuable time. Appreciate it very much. Your knowledge, your wisdom has been a shining beacon throughout my burgeoning Cerule career, I guess. And I just wanted to thank you for everything, really, and acknowledge your input into things today. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you. All the best to everyone on their kind of journey through carnivore and regaining their health and optimizing it, particularly foremost with getting enough stem cell nutrition. That's the priority. I think if you're thinking of like, wow, that all sounds fantastic, where do I start? That, really starting with getting enough stem cell nutrition and building from there.
Absolutely. Brilliant. On those words, we shall finish. See you then.